Hello, my name is Diego Villegas, and I will be doing an argumentative essay about drunk driving and its penalties. I'm good. I got this. I drive better when I've had some drinks. It's only a couple of blocks. Or, I need the car in the morning. I can't leave it here. These are some of the excuses made before a life is taken, or before you see a car wrapped around the tree on the highway. Many of us have driven after a drink or two. Although it may still be within legal limits, it isn't right. Unless you are walking around with a breathalyzer in your pocket, you shouldn't just assume you are okay to drive. Alcohol negatively influences the body. It slows down the brain reaction and body reaction in general. It is believed that driving under the influence of alcohol is responsible for more than 25% of deaths that are related to road accidents. Safe driving requires the ability to concentrate, make good judgments, and quickly react to situations. However, alcohol affects these skills, putting yourself and others in danger. Such effects include slow reaction time, lack of coordination, reduced concentration, decreased vision, and inhibit judgment. One drink is enough for a driver to lose his or her ability to perform the tasks needed for safe driving. Hence, excessive alcohol consumption greatly impairs judgment and affects the ability to process information. A drunk driver usually finds it difficult to judge the distance between the cars, to judge the speed of a vehicle, concentrate on the driving task, notice pedestrians, traffic lights, and other hazards, appropriately react to things around him or her, keep balance, as well as stay awake. As drunk driving may result in traffic accidents and even death, it is a crime that should be punished and, in my opinion, not hefty enough. In every country and state, there is a legal limit to how much alcohol a driver can have in the blood while driving. Violation of these regulations is a crime. There is no foolproof way of drinking and staying under the DUI limit. An individual's BAC, blood alcohol concentration, level changes from person to person and depends on a variety of factors, such as your weight, sex, and metabolism, the type of amount of alcohol you're drinking, what you've eaten recently, and even your stress levels at the time. Before drinking and driving, a person should think about future consequences of the offense. A driver who is caught under the influence of alcohol will be treated as a criminal. He or she is usually taken to jail. It is also necessary to go to court and face a jury or judge. In most states, 0.08 alcohol level in the blood means that the driver will be found guilty of drunk driving. A driver with alcohol concentration of the blood of 0.10 or greater is 7 times more likely to be involved in a fatal crash than a sober driver. Basically, the more alcohol consumes the driver, the more likely he or she is to have an accident. When a person is caught drunk driving, the driver's license is usually revoked or suspended. Most states require an assessment of drinking habits and taking educational classes about alcohol, its harms and dangers before getting driving privileges back. In some cases, treatment is inevitable. In addition, a drunk driver will have to pay for the installation of an ignition interlock device that allows the car to start. It is essential to know that every single death and injury caused by a drunk driver is preventable. Key word, preventable. Don't think of these numbers as statistics. Think of one of your family members driving home from work and being struck by a drunk driver. It's not a pretty picture. I know it's not. But it can be a real one if we don't find a way to save this. Car manufacturers, in my opinion, should be forced to include these breathalyzers to all models. This should be used as a second key system. This system should be embedded in cars for those who have been caught drunk driving. But as I said, this can all be prevented. Why do it after the matter and not before? It is almost 2020. We have something called Lyft or Uber. If you can't drive, then leave your car parked and take an Uber. They are inexpensive and literally everywhere. If you are thinking the cab fare is too expensive, then you're a fool. The cab at most can be $50, and that's excessive. Now compare those $50 to jail time, repair costs, insurance spiking through the roof, and worst of all, the $50 you thought was too much could have saved a life, could have saved you from making the worst mistake of your life. Drunk driving is a serious problem not only in the USA but all around the globe. Strict measures that are aimed for drunk drivers have been constantly utilized in the hope that one day humanity will forget about this problem. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reported that more than 1.5 million Americans, and I repeat that number, 1.5 million Americans were arrested in 1 year, in just 1 year, for driving under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol. This means that 1 out of every 121 licensed drivers were a drunk driver. How many people do you pass on the highway driving home? That means one of them could have been drunk, and that's a scary thought. It was also stated that within 2 hours of drinking, over 700 drivers are arrested for drunk driving. It was found in 2000 more than 1,400 traffic accidents involved fatalities that were caused by a drunk driver who were under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs. The US statistics reveal the fact that almost 12,000 people die every year because of alcohol-related accidents. More than 900,000 offenders are arrested every year for drunk driving. That's a large number. And we still see drunk driving every day. How is this possible? How is it possible that we see these other people going through these issues and we don't decide to do anything about it? Even though drunk driving has decreased during the past years, the problem is still imminent. The solution to the problem lies not only in the hands of laws and regulations, but also in the consciousness of drivers. It is necessary to keep the roadways safe and avoid drunk driving, decreasing mortality rate, and ensuring safer driving. Now I ask you, is this enough? You might jump to the conclusion, yes, it's enough. Of course, there's jail time and tickets and all of this stuff. Well, if it was your loved one that was killed, how would you feel if the person responsible was a first-time offender and only sentenced to jail for 3 years? Would you think it's enough then? Thank you.